Today we're going to talk about the 9 most common excuses around money, and this is an excerpt out of my book. The first one is I wasn't taught in school about money, and my parents didn't teach about money. And I think, there's a significant amount of us in New Zealand who could actually say that. And, I totally believe that we don't have anywhere near as much information as we should in our schooling system around money. But having said that, there's a lot of information out there, books, seminars, courses that can actually teach you around money. The second one, I don't earn enough. And I think this is an interesting one because, I've got clients who earn, very low incomes, and I've got clients who earn $500,000 a year, and the challenges are the same. And you might say, well, it'd be fantastic if I earned a couple of $100,000 a year. I wouldn't have any of these problems. But what just happens is the clothes get more expensive, the bottles of wine get more expensive, the holidays get more expensive. We go from 3-star to 5-star. So you might argue that would be a nice problem to have, but in reality the problems are the same. So looking at The Millionaire Next Door, which is interesting, it's a book, a very well-known international bestseller, and it talks about the way that the average millionaire behaves. So I'm just going to read a couple of things out of that. The average net worth of a millionaire is $3.7 million. The average millionaire lives in a house whose current value is $320,000, and over half of them have lived in the same house for 20 years. Now this book's a few years old, so those values are a little bit out of date, but you get my drift in the fact that, that the value of their house in relation to what their net worth is very low. The average millionaire's taxable income is $131,000 a year. For the most part, millionaires describe themselves as tightwads who believe that charity begins at home. Most millionaires drive older American-made cars, and only a minority of millionaires drive new cars or lease their cars. Over half the millionaires surveyed, the most they ever paid for a suit or a piece of clothing was $399. They're dedicated investors. On average, they invest nearly 20% of their income every year. So it's quite interesting because, most millionaires are very cautious with the way that they actually spend their money. So the third excuse is, it's not my job to look after the kids, my partner's job is the finances. Well, and I think when you're in a relationship you need to share the household tasks, but if you let your partner totally look after your money and you don't know what's going on, if something happens in your relationship, that might not put you in a good position. And I've dealt with a lot of clients over the years who've gone through divorces, and in particular women, because if you look at the traditional side of things, he's often gone out and made a really good income. She's been mainly looking after the home and looking after the kids for a number of years and doesn't have that same earning potential straight away. And because also she's never dealt with the finances, she finds it very, very difficult to manage her finances coming out of that relationship. So I think, it's important to share the tasks within a relationship and a household, but I think you do need to have an understanding of what's actually going on. The fourth thing, which is I think an interesting one, is that I don't actually understand these things. I don't have the talent for them. And I'm just going to read you a wee story, and it's called Talent is Overrated and Dr. Benjamin Bloom of the University of Chicago conducted a 5-year study of leading artists, athletes and scholars. It consisted of anonymous interviews with 20 top performers in various fields, including pianists, Olympic swimmers, tennis players, sculptors, mathematicians and neurologists. The information was supplemented by additional interviews with those people's families and teachers. Bloom and his team of researchers sought to find clues to how these high achievers developed. What they discovered was that drive and determination, not talent, actually led to their success. And that's what I would tend to believe as well, because we often think we didn't have a degree, we're not that smart, we don't understand these things, but it's more about your focus and your determination that will actually improve your financial situation. So that's the first 4 of the 9. So what I'll do is I'll deal with the further 5 in another block.